Well, it was a massive scene. There were protests all over Washington, D.C., hundreds of thousands of people. I haven't seen an official estimate. Some folks on social media say it was more than 1 million. I don't know the answer, but it was large, and our own Keean Bexte was amongst it. He, of course, did not smash his way into the Capitol building. If my eyes and my observation of the videos and photographs are accurate, it looks that only a couple of dozen, maybe a few dozen protesters broke into the Capitol building. One, of course, was shot dead. And 99.99% were outside. They may have been rambunctious, they may have been angry, but they were peaceful. Keean was amongst the peaceful protesters. He joins us now from Dulles International Airport on his way back to Canada. Keean, how you doing? I'm glad you're okay. You got a whiff of tear gas though, didn't you?
Did, yeah. My throat started closing up a bit. My eyes were fine, which I thought it would be the opposite. But actually, I got tear gas worse in D.C. than I did in Hong Kong.
Huh. Now, I saw some of your streeters interviews near Capitol Hill, and people were revved up for sure. I mean, they were adamant that the Democrats had stolen or rigged the election. They were mad about it, but they were peaceful. In fact, they were sort of startled. There was this one video you took of someone being led out of the scene on a stretcher. I don't know who that was. That really was the most dramatic part of your interviews. Where you were, it was calm, if angry. Am I right?
Yeah, people were furious. The whole 48 hours that I was in the Capitol, they were very upset with what happened, and rightfully so. They say that the election was stolen from them for a whole host of different reasons, from Arizona to Pennsylvania. They had issues, and that's why they were there. Now, that doesn't explain why a couple dozen people were in the Capitol building. There's video that shows them breaking into the Capitol building and the entire crowd booing them and trying to physically restrain them away from breaking into that sacred building of their democracy. But things weren't computing to me. I didn't understand people were inside the building until I was prepared to leave the Capitol, because there's actually an internet blackout in the area, and whether that was on purpose, if that was the police doing that, or if that was just an overload of people live streaming what was in front of them, I don't know. But it was certainly a day that I will always remember.
Yeah. I'm worried that the day will be memorialized in the history books. I mean, they say the victors write the history books. The Democrat media, which is just as partisan in America as it is up here, they have already written the history of it. They say that Donald Trump incited the mob, incited the riot. The media, which was tolerant and even supportive of Antifa and Black Lives Matter riots all last year, have suddenly taken a liking to police and law and order. And I mean, I think it's incredible how it's already been rebranded, practically a terrorist event. The only person who died yesterday was one protester. The Capitol buildings were not torched. There were some losers in there who took a few trophies, but I think they broke in and they didn't really know what to do once they were in. I don't know if they were really Trump supporters or just people there for a party, but I mean, I don't support it at all. I don't support trespass, break and enter, or the threat of violence. But this has been turned into another Charlottesville, really. They're trying to have it as a defining moment to demonize anyone conservative or anyone Trumpy for the rest of the time. What do you think?
Yeah, from what I've heard, actually, not just one person died. There's one person that has very publicly died, and that was caught on video. But in the video that we'll be publishing, we'll show two other individuals that I saw appeared. One was certainly dead, and the other one was dying on the way to the hospital. And reports that I've heard, a total of 4 people have actually died from what went on. And I think you're right. The left is definitely going to try and write this as, the great defense of democracy against right-wing terrorists, and everyone who's ever supported Donald Trump will be lumped in with the dozen people who broke into the Capitol building. And they're going to act like this is 9/11, the 9/11 of 2021. And they're going to use this to restrict freedoms, as they did after 9/11. just like they've decided how and when you can go into airports and change the whole process, they're going to change how and when and why you use social media. The perfect example is Mark Zuckerberg taking to Facebook to say that the president of the United States, the leader of the free world, whether you like that or not, still Donald Trump, he's now banned from Facebook. He's also banned from Twitter. And I seriously thought to myself last night, well, I want to know what he's saying. How do I do that? Because
Yeah.
I've relied for so long. How do you actually hear what the president's saying? And the answer is, well, a lot of people don't know. You can go to the White House website, and that's about it. But who knows how long? I mean, you know as well as I do that the service providers for domain providers can delist as well. So the internet is not controlled by the president. The internet is not controlled by the people. The internet's controlled by Silicon Valley. There are real masters, and I think that we're going to learn that real quick here.
That's an excerpt from my daily show, the Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.